For the first time in 2 decades, 5 cases of malaria have been found in the U.S., all confirmed in Florida and Texas and acquired within American borders. That's according to a Monday alert from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Here's Dr. Deborah Howry from the CDC.
So each year, particularly before COVID, we saw about 2,000 cases of malaria in the United States each year. But that was from people who were traveling abroad and acquired it internationally. What is different this time and why we put out the health notice to doctors and to the public is we had 5 cases of domestically acquired malaria, meaning people got it from in the United States, 4 in Florida and 1 in Texas.
Malaria is caused by a parasite carried by certain female mosquitoes. Initial symptoms resemble the flu, but if left untreated, malaria can cause life-threatening damage, including kidney failure, seizures, and coma. Over 500,000 people die globally from the disease every year. The U.S. cases were diagnosed over a 2-month period, with the first occurrence in Florida in late May. Both it and Texas have since issued their own health alerts. Dr. Andrea Berry is with the University of Maryland School of Medicine.
So it is a little alarming to have a disease that we've eliminated from the United States and then have these few local cases. But they are a few cases. And I think that public health measures are really important for both tracking where the malaria is and then therefore making any interventions like trying to prevent more mosquito bites, either by decreasing the mosquito population or asking everyone to wear mosquito repellent. Like these are all things that can prevent ongoing transmission.
The CDC said that the domestic risk of malaria still remains low, and that fully 95% of malaria infections are acquired in Africa.
Email exchanges from inside the BBC, they talk about the risk of violating Indian laws. It's easier to rake up the freedom of speech debate, but does it give anyone a free pass to knowingly violate the law? America supports India because it needs India's support in return. And India is working with the US because it suits India's interests. This is how geopolitics works. Last night, he diffused a crisis with his defense minister. But today, Netanyahu was confronted with a new problem. His cabinet seems to have rebelled against him. The UK is looking at the Indian subcontinent to fill its coffers. That India seems to be negotiating from a position of power, like a partner and not a former colony.
And there they go. It looks like
The US and Russia are dangerously close to an armed conflict. This year, 2023, New Delhi will be the capital of global diplomacy. For a country as diverse as ours, with 88% of the population illiterate, it was a very big deal to write a constitution, and that too, the world's largest. Meanwhile, if we may, here's a Republic Day gift from India for the BBC. A list of suggestions for the BBC for their upcoming documentaries. Number 1. The Kohinoor and the colonial loot. Number 2, an outdated monarchy and unhealthy obsession with the royals. Number 3, racism in 2023. We're waiting.